In a time and place where you can get paid from anywhere.
Two ladies in their mid to late 27s have decided to.
And they're calling it...
Shut up, what's the price of Bitcoin right now?
The ladies have some thoughts about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Mainly, why didn't I get into it sooner?
What the fuck is hodling, and why are there so many bithurt bros on the subreddit?
How can you identify a secret Bitcoin millionaire?
Look for anarchy stickers on BMWs and clothes that might have been bought at Walmart 5 years ago.
Will Kelly ever get her shit together and buy some crypto or wallow forever in bithurt regret?
This is the Workationing Podcast. I know that there is pain, but you hodl on for one more day and you break free from the Federal Reserve. That's our Bitcoin song we're working on?
We're working on a Bitcoin song to bust out at karaoke maybe, but it's going to be Hodl On to the tune of Wilson Phillips's Hold On.
Which is a classic that we do love very much. Yeah. We've got a real dance routine to that.
Someday some altcoin's gonna make you want to turn around and say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Till then, baby, are you gonna let him? We're still working on that.
It's hard.
But we do know Hodl On is, hodl.
Hodl. So we've been talking a lot lately about Bitcoin, and we thought we would talk with you guys about it because it actually has a lot of connections, I think, to workationing. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about new paradigms and different ways of existing in the world, cryptocurrency is kind of a cool thing to look into.
It is. It's a way to opt out of the Federal Reserve System or of just any national currency that might be experiencing some hyperinflation. And in Venezuela, Bitcoin is really saving some people's lives.
Yeah, Venezuela got real fast. Mm-hmm. They were eating zoo animals, I heard.
I heard that as well. It's a terrible situation. Obviously, what do you even do in that scenario when the money that's in your bank account is literally worthless the next day? Like, people who had money now have nothing. And if you can't get your money out of that currency system, if you can't get your wealth out of that currency system, you're really screwed when that currency goes to shit.
Yeah, it's something that I never thought about a ton before I started traveling, but I'm starting to see that a good financial plan for your future probably involves not just diversification of like the kinds of investments that you make, but probably diversification of the currencies that you are in. Very
true. And I think that maybe we should just pop a disclaimer on that you should not be taking investing advice.
Oh, no, not from this girl. No. Listen, I'm just figuring out. I'm about 2 years deep on just being adult enough to like figure out to put all my bills on auto pay. So I'm not getting shit turned off. So like, don't.
I like to think of all the bad investments that I've made over the years.
Yeah.
Not even just monetarily, time.
All kinds of things you can waste.
So you don't want to take investing advice from us, but we're going to talk about investing anyway. So here we go.
Here we go.
So in addition to Bitcoin, there's also this cryptocurrency called Ethereum. Mm-hmm. There's Dash.
I didn't know about any of this till we started workationing. I only knew about Bitcoin.
Oh, I didn't talk to you about Ethereum?
No.
Oh.
No, we hadn't talked about it a lot. I wasn't aware. And I had known about Bitcoin for a long time. I was in on the ground floor with Bitcoin. It's probably like 2010.
Right. Oh.
Maybe like early 2011. And I had some. I was working at this tech company and all of the programmers and coders were getting into it.
Right.
And somebody gave me some, but I was like, okay, so you do what with it now? Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, first you get on the dark web. You go to the Silk Road. And then you try to find something that's not drugs to buy. Or drugs.
But
I remember these people in particular were not druggy types. Mm-hmm. And they were all just like, they were just looking for shit to buy.
Right.
That wasn't drugs. I think somebody bought a really good coffee grinder.
Oh, I can see that. I actually know the people that you're talking about. I'm familiar with this particular startup. And yes, I don't think that those guys were buying drugs on the Silk Road.
No. So you've got this money, kind of. It's hard to get to it. You got to go to the dark web. And I'm like, and I ended up just giving it away to somebody. And I didn't even know how to give it to this person. They had to do it for me. However, I think I had about $5 in Bitcoin. And it was late 2010, early 2011. And I read an article recently that if I had hodled on to that it would be worth $4.4 million now.
That was an expensive Starbucks run.
That was the most expensive. And you hear all kinds of stories like that, like the $1 million pizza, that kind of shit.
Well, now it's like a $10 million pizza or $100 million pizza. Fuck, that was an expensive pizza. It was the first transaction in Bitcoin. Somebody sent just a ton of Bitcoin over to somebody else, and then that person ordered them a pizza, and
I still identify with that. Because I did that, and then I just forgot about Bitcoin forever.
Right.
I didn't even know it was still a thing or that anything was happening until you and I started hanging out more.
I think I heard about Bitcoin around 2010. I float in those libertarian-y circles, and Bitcoin is big, or cryptocurrency in general seems to be big in the libertarian space. I was actually on the Peter Schiff show talking about Bitcoin in 2012, 10, 11, I don't know.
Stone Ages.
Yeah, it was. And I was just, I'm interested in this crypto thing. And he was like, no, buy gold.
Because gold has inherent value, don't you know?
It's really easy to transport.
These shiny rocks will definitely see you through.
Let me take out my pocket knife and whittle you off a corner.
Right.
Of this gold block.
Here you go. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Just mail this to the electric company with just a stamp on it.
But there were lots of people who were saying, oh, this crypto thing is bullshit. This crypto thing is bullshit. And, I don't know that it is bullshit, is evidenced by the fact that I have a lot of friends who are just gazillionaires right now.
I mean, here's the thing is that it's not any more bullshit than any other kind of currency. It's not more bullshit than shiny rocks, and it's not more bullshit than USD.
It's more useful than all of those things.
Right.
Though. It's more transparent. You can see exactly what's being sent. It's instantaneous. When I moved to New Hampshire, though, I really got to see how many people were very, very into this Bitcoin and blockchain technology and were heavily invested in it. My friends created the world's longest running Bitcoin meetup in Manchester, New Hampshire. Manchester, New Hampshire, just New Hampshire in general, is a real hot spot of Bitcoin activity worldwide.
Just a real party zone, let me tell you. I've gotten to spend some time in Manchester.
It's really low key.
Yeah.
You know? It's a low key live for your day state. But two of my friends, the Harvey brothers, created the world's first Bitcoin ATM, the Lamassu Bitcoin machine. And I think that was in like 2013. They debuted it. And I was like, that sounds like something that could probably get some press, guys. And so I pitched it around to some people that I knew. And they ended up getting just a crap ton of media coverage. We went to CES with the Bitcoin machine, and Matt Honan from Wired came up to their hotel room, and they ended up in Wired magazine. And that company is still going strong, and it should still be going strong because the price of Bitcoin these days a lot higher than it used to be back then. How's that make you feel, Cal?
Really good.
How much did you like that Starbucks?
It was, just don't even remember for sure if it was Starbucks. Like it could have been a sandwich.
Oh no.
Maybe it was a beer.
Brutal.
Maybe I just gave it away. I remember.
I know. I was very liberal with my Bitcoin spending back in the day. Just, of course, I'll pay for that with Bitcoin. It was such a novelty that I wanted to pay for things in Bitcoin. I was just asking anybody who was trying to sell me anything, will you take Bitcoin for this?
Right. They're like, what now?
And I wish I wouldn't have been so liberal with the Bitcoin sending. Should have paid cash. Maybe I could have put that on a credit card and then just never pay that bill, pay the bare minimum, and I still would have been out like a zillion % ahead.
Right. I didn't want to go to the dark web, and so I was just, fuck it.
So actually, I looked this up in January 1st when we started workationing. So January 1st, 2017. Let's talk about the prices then, and let's talk about the prices now.
Oh, yeah.
About 6 months later.
Talk about it.
So January 1st, Bitcoin was at $1,000 exactly. Now it is $2,586. $2,586.44.
Damn.
Which you can check on howmuchisaffuckingbitcoin.com.
I love that. That's so the spirit of Bitcoin. I feel like, well, let's talk more about the prices, but I feel like these prices make people crazy.
They do. They do. Oh, when you refresh howmuchisaffuckingbitcoin.com, it says, Jesus fucking Christ, it's insert price here. Or like, there's always a fucking in there, and you never know if it's like a good fucking or a bad fucking.
Either way.
It depends.
Either way.
Depends
Ethereum
on your perspective.
is really where you've seen this
major growth. Right. Yeah. So I first heard about Ethereum when it was first coming out. Thanks, Harvey. But Vitalik Buterin, one of the creators of Ethereum, I saw him coming around to the Bitcoin meetups. He wasn't even 18, I don't think. Like, there were times, I believe he's Canadian, but he would take buses to go to these Bitcoin meetups, and they were often at bars, and sometimes he couldn't get in, so he would just like wait outside of the bar and then talk to people about Bitcoin after the meetup. Heard lots of stories about that. Some people just geek out about this cryptocurrency stuff, and these meetups are great places to learn more about that, and they're all over the world in every major city. Ethereum was at $8.52 January 1st when we started workationing. Now it's $275.37. God damn it. It's like not even 6 months later.
Right.
Dash, I have some friends who are really into Dash. I can't really tell you the difference between Ethereum and Dash other than I'm sure that there are some. But $11.35 on January 1st. $183.84.
And I've just been over here knowing about all of this the whole time. And just every day I'm like, this is the week I buy some crypto.
Well, there's one of my friends shared this comic about the stages of buying crypto. And I know that you thought that was hilarious too. Do you want to talk about what that looked like?
I really identify with it. So the comic was, so the first stage is that you need to download a crypto wallet. And then you forget to download that crypto wallet for like a month. And then crypto goes up. And then you get pissed and you decide to buy, but you still don't know how to download this wallet. And it ends with someone just literally crying under their desk. Because all their friends are rich and they're not. And I'm just, ugh.
Yeah. There's definitely a FOMO with the crypto buy-in.
Yeah. It really makes people crazy. It's almost like
the 7 stages of grief or of death.
Yeah. No, because you see all of it. Like, some people get really angry. Some people really get into denial. I know people who had Bitcoin, a decent amount of Bitcoin in 2010, who just got rid of it. And some of them are real crazy now because they like, listen, I'm not going to let myself freak out over that $4 million cup of coffee or whatever the fuck I had. That's just the path of ultimate suffering. You know what I mean? You have to just let it go.
Yes.
Can't hold on to that.
You gotta let that go. Like Elsa.
Right. But some people are like, oh, Bitcoin. Huh? Who? Never heard of her. You know?
I'm like, I know that you have.
Whatever.
They're salty. They're salty because they had it and now they don't. Or even worse, are the people who really could have even thrown $10 in, $100 in, $1,000 in, getting crazy back in the day. And they were just like, well, I only have $50 or I only have $100 to put into this. But had they done that, they'd be hodling on to some real money right now.
Right. I mean, because there's people who are still trying to lecture me about how cryptocurrency isn't a good investment and that it's not whatever. Like, listen, in fact, I think a lot of crypto people will tell you it's not even an investment, it's a gamble.
Right.
Which is fine, but listen, it's been a good one for some people, and they're trying to talk about how cryptocurrency isn't really real or usable or something. And I'm like, yeah, except that like there are people out here buying
real things. Oh yeah, you can buy your airfare with Bitcoin. I've done all of these things. Overstock.com, Patrick Byrne, big crypto enthusiast. You can pay for anything you want on Overstock.com with Bitcoin.
I bet he just has so much Bitcoin.
Cheapair.com, hotels, car rentals, flights, Bitcoin.
Right.
You've got options.
Yeah, no, you're seeing people just get real wealthy. And you know what? Their wealth doesn't look different than the people with USD.
Well, it
seems to function.
Well, it functions, right? It functions the same. And I think they just need to upgrade their wardrobe, some of these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some real sleeper millionaires out there that you don't know about.
You'd never guess.
A lot of new money walking around, especially in Manchester, New Hampshire.
New money in old shoes?
Yeah.
Old skater shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Just like shirts with bacony collars?
Yeah. Just a lot of anarchy stickers on BMWs.
There are.
Those are the markings.
There's a Bitcoin Bimmer group. You
know?
I've
seen it.
I think it's funny. I know some people who are just very, very, very bitter about it. And they didn't have the like $10, $500, whatever to throw in. And they just have doubled down on that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Well, now it's so high. I'm not going to do it. And then what does that look like in 5 years? Maybe just take that $500 gamble and forget you did.
Right.
Pop back in that maybe in a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, I wouldn't buy crypto with any money that I wouldn't set on fire, but that's how I feel about any kind of an investment.
You know I like to gamble.
Right, girl?
I love the casino. But there's definitely there should be a name for it. Like BOMO. Bitcoin.
Cryptomo.
Missing Cryptomo. Yeah, I don't... Working title.
Getting all bithurt.
I think that might be it. Bithurt.
There's a lot of bithurt bros out here.
Very true. How do you get over it, though? You've really just got to forgive yourself. You've got to be compassionate with yourself. Recognize that you didn't have a crystal ball that you could see the future in and know what the price of these cryptocurrencies was going to go to, but then maybe do something about it.
Right. No, I think, but it does. It makes people crazy. Actually, the origin of Hodl, we were looking up, and it's actually very hilarious, and I feel like really epitomizes this mindset.
Can you do a dramatic reading of this?
Oh God, I would love to.
Have you heard the dramatic reading of a breakup letter? Because sometimes I still listen to that and just crack myself up.
Yeah, that's good. So this was on bitcointalk.org on December 18th of 2013 at 10:03 in the AM. There are just a ton of typos in here. This was written by a drunk person. Faux show.
At 10:08 in the morning.
Yes.
Rough day.
Rough day. Okay, so Game Kyubi writes, title, I am hodling.
I like it.
I typed that title twice because I knew it was wrong the first time. Still wrong. Whatever. My girlfriend's out at a lesbian bar. Bitcoin is crashing. Why am I holding? I'll tell you why. It's a lot of capitals in here. It's because I'm a bad trader, and I know I'm a bad trader. Yeah, you good traders can spot the highs and lows, pit-pat, piffy-wing, wong-wang, just like that, and make $1 million. Sure, no problem, bro. Likewise, the weak hands are like, oh no, it's going down, I'm gonna sell, he. And then they're like, oh God, my asshole, when the smart traders who know what the fuck they're doing buy back in. But you know what? I'm not part of that group. When the traders buy back in, I'm already part of the market capital. So guess who you're cheating, day traders, not me. Those taunt threads saying, oh, you should have sold. Yeah, no shit. No shit, I should have sold. I should have sold moments before every sell and bought moments before every buy. But you know what? Not everybody is as cool as you. You only sell in a bear market if you're a good day trader, an illusioned noob. The people in between hold. In a zero-sum game such as this, traders can only take your money if you sell. So I've had some whiskey. Actually, on the bottle, it's spelled whiskey with no E. Whatever. Sue me. But only if it's payable in Bitcoin and fiend.
I love it.
I can see why this went viral. Because I think a lot of people identified with this whiskey drunk man.
Yeah, I know some people who were trying to make some extra dollars with the trading scene, and I know some people that it really did not work out for. I think the beauty of the crypto is that you don't know who has it, and you don't know how badly they've fucked up with it.
Right.
I like that. There's an air of mystery there. It's a fun grab bag of all kinds of mistakes and non-mistakes. Just good moves.
Yeah, and it's something that obviously there are a ton of people who know just a lot more about this than I do, just infinitely more. But I think even among the people who know the most, like, they don't have a crystal ball. They can't, there's no science to this.
No.
There's no algorithm that's going to tell you what happens. So I think there's probably a lot of pain and suffering that goes into this. I think you've got to hodl, but I think you've got to have a loose hodl. You can't hodl on too tightly. The zen of Bitcoin, I think, is very important.
It's true. If you guys want to hear more about Bitcoin and Ethereum and Dash and just cryptocurrency in general, we've got friends who have a cryptocurrency podcast.
Yeah, and they actually really, really know their shit.
Yeah, there's a math PhD over there. Shout out to Dr. Darren Tapp, who knows just everything you would need to know about Bitcoin or crypto. And lots of other people who have been in the space for years, and they talk about all kinds of things. And that podcast is really picking up with the price of Bitcoin. I was talking to them about their downloads, and they were just like, yeah, that's exploded.
Which is so exciting because this podcast, Neocash, records in the same place that we were living in Manchester for a little while.
At the Sky Palace.
Yeah. So that was cool because I got to overhear their podcast, and it's cool to see those guys doing so well.
Neocash Radio, Sovereign Tech. They also discuss Bitcoin over there. Brian Sovereign and Dr. Stephanie Murphy. They do that?
Very cool stuff.
Yeah. So if you want more information and you're into podcasts, you can definitely get more information
better than this.
better than this. We should talk about some of the use cases, though, because I am very interested in the use cases for Bitcoin and blockchain technology.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, the coolest one is that something that I wasn't super aware of, it's something I hear a lot about on the road, though, is just how difficult it is for people to send money to people in other countries, particularly immigrants, people who are coming to another country, the U.S. or somewhere else, to make money, and then they want to send that money back home to help people who are struggling, especially like in a lot of these Latin American countries. You see this a lot. The problem is when they send that money back, Western Union just has their grubby little paws all over it.
Oh, they take a 30% chunk. Because you see how far our dollars go out, and not so much here in Montreal, but you see how far our dollars went in places like Colombia,
right?
For example. And so you don't need to send a lot of money to actually be sending a lot of money to somebody.
Right.
But that chunk that Western Union takes out is really substantial.
No, and it's really just robbery.
It is.
These people don't have another option, really, in a lot of these cases. And what is Western Union doing that requires 30%?
Right.
Like, really, what is that? And it's just taking advantage of people often who are in really, really terrible situations.
Well, and sometimes you can't even get to that money easily. Where's the closest Western Union? I don't even know. But with this digital currency, you can send somebody digital currency. You don't even need, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that there are a lot of people with smart-ish phones in places like Africa. I don't know that they have like the best internet service or but somehow they're able to use their phones to get crypto.
Yeah.
And you see that in a lot of other countries. People use cell phone minutes is like a
currency.
Is currency.
Which is crazy to me. I'd never heard of that.
But I think that crypto is better than cell phone minutes. But that just goes to show you how the barter-ish economy works when you don't trust your own currency or you don't have currency. Can't get it for whatever reason.
When your currency just really collapses, it's interesting what becomes currency in its place.
I really like it for the transparency factor. So you can see every transaction on the blockchain.
Right. And don't certain criteria have to be met before the transaction goes through, right?
Yes, it can. It can. So that's one of the benefits of Ethereum, from what I understand, is you can have if-then kind of contractual obligations fulfilled on the blockchain. I don't think you can do that with Bitcoin. I think that that's the key selling factor for Ethereum. There, again, certainly better people to speak to this than me. But just the fact that you're able to see that these people got the donations. So, for example, the UN just sent a bunch of aid to 10,000 people in Syria using Ethereum blockchain technology. So I think that there probably was some sort of if-then on the release of payment then. But they sent out these coupons that were good for cryptocurrency, and there was some sort of identification in place. From what I understand, they were repurposing iScan machines. And so that's how they were able to verify the identity. But that ensures there's a huge problem with leakage in charities.
Yeah. Yeah, there really is.
A lot of corruption in charities.
Well, it just turns out if you just send large amounts of money around the world, it's just there's a lot of sticky fingers in there.
There are.
You know?
You lose some in that sieve. And so the blockchain technology can, I guess, prevent that, keep everyone honest with transparency in charities, because people don't trust charities anymore. That's why Charity Navigator exists. People get real pissed about don't donate to the Red Cross because their CEO makes so much money. And
right, or the Susan G. Komen, is that the one, the breast cancer one? Most of the stuff that you buy that has a pink ribbon on it is just buying pink ribbon shit.
Right.
They have a pink ribbon swag company basically, and a very small percentage of any of that actually goes to cancer research. And that sucks.
It does. There are more efficient charities, and don't you want to donate your money to the most efficient charity so that the highest percentage of your dollar goes toward actually helping the cause?
Right.
And I think that there is a huge potential for just charities using blockchain technology to show that the money's going where they say it's going to.
Well, and if the UN is starting to use Ethereum, God, listen, I'm going to do it. I had a real letdown this week because there's actually here in Montreal a Bitcoin embassy.
Yes.
And I was going to go there and get some Bitcoin bro to teach me how to Bitcoin. And it was closed. For a few weeks, it was closed.
Well, we do have a Bitcoin bro who's imported. We have Chainsaw. Chainsaw's in from Panama. I haven't seen Chainsaw in years, but he's in town for a bachelor party because Montreal is just really big for bachelor parties. We've seen a lot of them.
Right. And I will say that he is still in town. I think he's over at a hotel somewhere right now.
He might just be here forever.
Yeah, he might live in Montreal now. We went out. We were just supposed to grab dinner with young Chainsaw.
Yes.
And he turned out to be a real good time.
I told you he was going to be.
And just a few karaoke bars and strip clubs later, homeboy just missed his flight back to Panama. Whoops to Daisy, sorry, Chainsaw.
And then the next day, he goes to catch his plane, and they're like, nah, not today.
Not today. So he is at some hotel somewhere. He might just live here in Montreal now. Sorry, dude.
No, but he hooked you up with a Bitcoin wallet. He helped me out with my 2-factor authentication.
Right. And now I just need to put some crypto into that Bitcoin wallet.
Well, he can do that for you. I know you want to have a cool crypto story of how you get your crypto.
Yeah.
I can send you some of mine, or you can hit up Chainsaw. We won't say Chainsaw's real name because he's got some deals in the works.
He's a professional, and I don't know that he wants people knowing about his strip club time with the gringas. But he was a real treat to hang out with. I like that one. And a very, very, very strong karaoke game, and you know how we like that in a person.
Yes.
Very strong. Just a Jimi Hendrix that'll knock you on your ass.
Totally travel with that one again. I like traveling with the Bitcoin people. They're mobile.
Yeah. And fun.
They're fun. Mostly. You know, there's a lot of socially awkward mixed in there.
Yeah. Well, Chainsaw was great. We had a super good time. But I need to get that crypto. We're going to make that happen.
So how do you want to get it?
I don't know. I'll get it from somebody. I guess I'll have to figure that out.
Maybe we should talk about how you can get it.
Okay.
So let's talk about the different ways in which you can get cryptocurrency.
Ooh, if you're listening to this. I don't have an Amazon wish list, but I would like some crypto.
We'll put up a Bitcoin address on our Patreon. So if you want to donate to the Workationing podcast and help us knock out some bucket list items, you can do so over at Patreon. You can pay in US dollars, and we will send you some giffery, some swag maybe. I don't know. We're still working on the perks.
Yeah.
But there's also a Bitcoin wallet address if you want to just send us some Bitcoin, because why not?
Why not?
Maybe that's how you'll get your first Bitcoin.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes.
But you can go to a Bitcoin exchange. Coinbase is one, Kraken is another, and they're going to want some information from you. You're going to need to link up your bank account.
See, this is where they get you. Because this is how you end up crying under your desk. Because I'm always like, I'm going to do it tomorrow, but then there's like steps involved.
You've got to find a checkbook, because what's your routing number? You know?
It's a folder in my house.
They want photo ID. So people talk about how crypto is anonymous, and it can be anonymous, but I think that for most people, it's not. You've got to jump through a lot of hoops to keep that on the down low. Really. And
not really a hoop jumper.
No, and the federal government has really not played so nicely with some of these Bitcoin companies, and they really want them to know their customer. KYC is what they call it. And so you've got to submit just your birth certificate. Maybe they want a blood sample. Right. You know? You've got to take a selfie. You've got to write them a note.
Right. And
then hold it up to your face with also your ID, and also take a selfie, and also this needs to be all entirely visible and legible in the photo.
Thank you.
You can do that. That's probably the easiest way for people, though. It's kind of like buying you do the same thing when you set up an E-Trade account. Maybe not so much with the selfie. I don't
do that either, though. I don't do any of that.
Wealthfront? Tim Ferriss keeps plugging Wealthfront. My crypto has outperformed my Wealthfront portfolio, I will say, this year. So maybe get into it, right? You can meet some dude on Craigslist.
Right.
And just trade them some dollars for some Bitcoin. Now, you're going to be paying above spot price for that because that is a way that you can keep it anonymous. You can go to a Bitcoin embassy if they're open.
If it's open. It opens back up the day after we leave Montreal. It's like a real bummer.
It's convenient. That is just our luck. That's in.
Just watch me cry under my desk over here.
Just real bit-hurt over there.
Real bit hurt about the Bitcoin embassy being closed.
That took us a minute to get to as well. That was a driving adventure to get to that. And then a parking adventure. And I can't read those signs. They're in French. Can I park here? Turns out you can't.
No.
And then it's closed anyway? Ugh.
Yeah, that was rough.
There are Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. If you search Bitcoin ATMs, you can find one near you. There are some in the U.S. I know I ran PR for the launch of some of them in the U.S., some of them internationally as well. There are hundreds of these machines all over the place, probably even thousands now.
That's cool.
So you can do that. That's an easy way. You just hold up your phone. I watched a 3-year-old buy cryptocurrency through one of these Bitcoin ATMs in 30 seconds, and it got a lot of upvotes on Reddit.
That's cool.
So that 3-year-old has more crypto than you, and it took her not very much time to get it. I'm just saying, you know.
You bit hurt over here.
You can
salt in the wound.
You can post on Facebook in some Facebook groups dedicated to Bitcoin and crypto. Hey, anybody selling? Because I would like to buy. And then you can maybe just PayPal them some money. There are ways you can get Bitcoin.
I'll get some. I'm going to do it.
And then hodl on for one more day.
And I'm going to hodl it until the end of time, to the moon or whatever they say.
Alternately, you can go to New Hampshire. Look for somebody who does not look like they have any money.
Right.
That's probably where you want to start in your Bitcoin millionaire hunting.
Mm-hmm. Are they wearing Birkenstocks?
Do they have a hard time making eye contact? You know? You just snatch one of them off the streets. Polish them up. You take them to the outlet mall. Get them in some new clothes.
Mm-hmm. You get yourself a nice new money dude.
You can do that, and you can get Bitcoin that way.
Well, I'm going to do it.
Are you?
Probably. Could be any day now.
You can't. I don't want to see you like that cartoon anymore, just crying under your desk.
I know, it's hard. My bit hurtness is getting a little... It's escalating.
I understand why, though, because it's like you've got to be comfortable with setting that money on fire, so you have to admit to yourself that money doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, and mostly it's just laziness. Listen, I've never had problems setting money on fire. That's never been like a particular aversion of mine. I'm good at it. But it's the paperwork. The Gringa doesn't like to do paperwork.
I feel you on that. A Gringa hates paperwork.
Yeah, so it's just a real bummer. I have other things to do. Gotta go to yoga. Got some Real Housewives to watch. I'm busy. Got things going on.
All right, well, we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
By the end of the week?
Yes, I promise.
Okay, it's on a Post-it. You need to buy some crypto. It's on a Post-it. I'm looking at it right now.
It
Fill
is.
that Post-it.
All right, well, did we do it?
I think we did it.
I think we did it.
All right. Hodl on for one more day.
This has been another episode of the Workationing Podcast. If you like what you've heard here, please consider donating at patreon.com/workationing. That's patreon.com. All proceeds will go towards funding our bucket list items.
To keep up with us in real time, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Workationing. Or on our website at, you guessed it, workationing.com. That's workationing.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
I know that there is pain, but you hodl on for one more day and you break free from the Fed.
Federal Reserve banking system.
Yeah, I know that there is pain, but you hodl on for one more day and you break free with the blockchain.
Someday some altcoin's gonna make you want to turn around and say goodbye. Till then, baby, there's the flipping in to make you cry.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Things will change. Things will go your way. If you hodl on for one more day. If you hodl on for one more day.
Things will go your way.
Things will go your way.
Hodl on for one more day. Did we do it?
I think that was
I
perfect.
think it's good. Let's do it.